What's going on? What's going on, man? Story time, story time. Let me tell you about the time I got my ribs broke. I got my ribs broke in Sacramento City Jail. I got my ribs broken by 3 to 4 officers. It was the day that I was in Sacramento, California. This is the day that a young man got killed by another officer because the officer thought he had a gun in his hand and he shot him like 18 to 30 times. I think the dude had stole a car. He ran to the back of his house, and he got shot in the back of his house for having a cell phone or a TV remote in his hand, or a cell phone in his hand, or something, like right in front of his grandma. You feel what I'm saying? That happened the day before I got locked up. I was out there and went to a tnutty video shoot. I was at the video. The video was called These Days. It's on YouTube right now. These Days by tnutty. I'm in the video. At the end of the video. I was at the end of the video. So at the end of the video, mind you, I had just got there from the airport. I went straight to the video shoot. Like not at the end of the video, but like midway, I told them I was gonna leave and get to my hotel room and stuff. So we was drinking and smoking while we was at the video shoot. So they gave me a car. They gave me like a Jaguar or some shit. But the Jaguar, like when I reversed to leave out, that shit kept reversing. Like I had to put my foot on the brake, and that shit was kept going reverse. They thought I was drunk. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. I wasn't tripping though. So they swapped me cars out. They gave me like a Benz, like an S500 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm riding. I never drove an S500 in my life. I always thought they were slow, but I'm driving it and it got some horsepower to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going around this bend, and the lady, make a long story short, I can't remember how it was. The lady got in front of me and hit her brakes, and I hit her from back. You know what I'm saying? So they took me to jail for a DUI. So when I get to jail, I already know about the dude died and shit. I'm drunk and shit. I'm talking hella shit. Why y'all shoot the man? Yeah, I said, man, I got shot in the face. Remember the last video I told you I got shot in the face? I got shot in the face right there. And I told the police officer, I said, man, I got shot one time. And I swear to God I didn't want no more smoke. Like, that y'all shot that man 18 however many times with a Glock. I don't know what y'all police issue guns is, but that Glock 940, whatever the fuck y'all got, I know that shit would tear his ass up. Like, one of my point is that they didn't have to shoot that man that many times for him to comply, man, to get that man to comply. You feel what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, he didn't have no gun. Man, them police took me to the back, to this room in the back. Wherever room, I'm in Sacramento jail. I guess it's some little holding cells, and it's right there by the nurses station. It's a nurse station right there, because I seen them. They took me in there, and they started tussling with me. But it was like 3 or 4 weak-ass police, because they couldn't really do nothing with me. So they tussling with me, but I'm like wrestling back, but not necessarily wrestling back, but I'm like, I know I control my body to where they can't get me. So I'm like, what are y'all doing? What y'all trying to do? What the fuck is y'all doing? It's like that, because it's the police, and I'm looking like, what y'all? I'm not even realizing that they trying to fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm wrestling this shit with them, I got I'm in handcuffs, you know what I'm saying, still. And they still can't get me on the ground. But one cop picked my feet up from behind, and I smacked my face on the ground. And they got on my back like, they put me in the walls of Jericho, basically. If you watch wrestling and know what the Boston Crab is, or the walls of Jericho, that's what they did. They sat on my back. They sat on my back and bit me, put me in the walls of Jericho until my ribs broke. Until my ribs broke, man. I'm going to show you my ribs one more time. I'm going to get up there. Let me get up and show you my ribs, man. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah. And then they put me in the, mind you, all right, let's get back to the story. Mind you, I'm only supposed to be in jail for 24 hours, fam, for a DUI. Get my ticket sent in my way. They put me in jail. I was in jail in that holding tank for 3 days straight. 72 for the most maximum limit that you could stay in there is how long they held me in there for. Because I was talking shit. I wasn't necessarily talking shit, but I was trying to ask a question like, why the hell y'all shooting so much? That's all I was doing. I wasn't talking shit. You know what I'm saying? This is the same day, that next day that T-Daddy dropped that Black Man Murder. I think it's Paradise, Black Man Paradise or something. He dropped that video. Man, he was on the ass. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I was in there for 3 days in that holding tank, man. I was trying to remember what happened. I was in there with some blood, some Crips, a little bit of everything, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a different inside that Sacramento jail than it is on that street, in that California streets, man. Like California, pretty ass place, man, but that jail is ugly ass place, man. Feel me? But yeah, another thing is, so I stayed there for 72 hours. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in there was cool for the most part. I ain't had no problems. You know what I'm saying? So when they let us out, like at the end of the 72 hours, I lie to you not, man. It got so bad that I was in there for so long. It was like me and two other people that I was in there for a long time. And everybody came in there drunk talking shit to the police. They kept in there for 72 hours. But it got so bad to where we was in that shit. Every time the CEO come in there, we would be looking at that nigga clipboard like, you got Del Rouse on that motherfucker? Like, nigga, we try to get the fuck up out of here. They try to say that we was from different states. They try to say I was from a different state. You know what I'm saying? That they couldn't find me in the system type shit. Why they kept me in there? You know what I'm saying? So after the 72 hours, they let me out, man. They let me out. So when you exited, they lined you up. Everybody let out that day. They lined up and they asked you, "Are you okay?" You know, shit like that. One officer was like, I told him I was fine. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, my ribs is broken and shit though. But one officer was like, "Man, Mister," he was like, "Rouse, you know what I'm saying?" He was like, "Are you alright?" And mind you, it was a lieutenant was a Spanish lady, man. And mind you, man, I think she knew everything that was going on, man. Pretty ass Spanish lady, man. She was the lieutenant, man. I'll never forget this shit, because when they came down and let us out, she was down there, and I'm looking at it like, damn, that's who the lieutenant is? It ain't crooked as hell like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's another dude, when they let me out, they was like, Ross, man, he basically was like, I respect you, man. He was like, he was like basically saying, like, the whole time I was there, I didn't press the button and keep asking questions like when it was time for me to leave. I just sat there until it was time for me to leave. You know what I'm saying? Or I would be looking at the paper, you know what I'm saying, when the guard was calling people names. And I ain't even start doing that to the end because I felt like they was doing this on purpose. So I started going to look at the paper to make sure that my name went on the paper. But I never complained. You feel what I'm saying? And then he was like, no matter what the night officer say about you, he's like, you ain't cry about nothing, you ain't complain, you know what I'm saying, you did your little shit and left. You know what I'm saying? But my dumb ass left like a goofy. I should have went to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have got paid. You feel what I'm saying? But them 72 hours made me want to go and leave California, period. Like, I want to get the fuck up out of that bitch and kind of put that situation behind me. You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah, man. On some no bullshit. That's the time I got my ribs broke by the Sacramento City Police, California, man. Out there fucking around out there in Sac. But yeah, man, like, share, subscribe, man. It's some real true stories, man. Holla back.